Do you want to do IG Live too?
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
You start it and then
What's going on? Welcome to the green room. This is Aaron, aka Azur, and today my guest is none other than Frankie Flores, aka Trst. What's going on, man?
yo, what's going on? Happy Memorial Day, bro.
Happy Memorial Day. Okay, so I think we're gonna real quick as we set the stage. Both of our Instagram audio needs to be off, which I think you just turned yours off. If anyone is having issues with sound, let me know, but I think all the levels of mine are good to go. Happy Memorial Day, man. Really excited. I got to spend some time at the beach in Florida. I'm sure you're a little bit jealous on that end, at least.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. We have a backyard, so it's like not that bad out here in San Francisco. But like, yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah,
Been that far still.
yeah, definitely. Okay, wait, let me just make sure your audio is coming through. Say something again. All right. One quick sec. Sorry about this. To green room. Say something now.
Yo, what's
Okay.
up? What's up?
All right, we're good. Yeah, man. I was with Michael this morning. We went kayaking, got to enjoy the nice, being out in the bay. It was super nice. But yeah, I see you've been doing like grilling and stuff like that with Pam.
Oh, dude, we've been we've been just doing anything we can to keep ourselves busy during this thing. Cause like, I obviously don't want to like creatively just like burn myself out. So I'm just like cooking all this shit up, like grilling, doing crap boils, pretty much everything that we need to survive this day and age, you know?
Yeah,
Stuff Game
cooking.
Summit.
I hope it's cooking you both food and beats.
Yeah,
And cooking up
definitely
some sausage.
a heavy mix of both.
Awesome. Well, okay, so for anyone new to the green room, this is a place where we kind of, connect with other people in the music industry, typically people that we know and that we've connected with in the past. And today is really special because I've known Frankie for quite some time. So we'll definitely be talking a little bit about our time together in high school, which will be fun. I know you loved high school so much.
Fuck school. Oh my god, dude, I hated high school.
I know you did. We'll talk a little bit about like what you've been doing. Everyone knows that we've just been producing during quarantine, but maybe if you've been doing anything special and fun. Talk a little about your experience in the music industry. I think you have some interesting background, how you got into it. And then we'll learn a little bit more about Trst, but that'll be what we can look forward to today. So let's start with how we met back in high school, Robinson High School.
Oh yeah, Robinson High School. We were both just. Well, I don't know about you. This guy was the kicker on the football team, and I was just like on the fucking crew team and like the orchestra and all this shit. I don't know. The freshman and sophomore year were just not my favorite. I was little. I don't know. I didn't think I had the best time freshman sophomore year just because I don't know. I was just a little prepubescent boy with acne and just like didn't really know how to make that many friends at first, but like within the first, because like we hated each other freshman year. Like we don't have to beat around the bush with that.
I was just jealous because you liked Morgan Falcon. That's all it
was. Yeah, no, that was Shout out Morgan Falcon, bring in a rift between what could have been a prosperous friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then actually, I guess we probably get to give Melly credit for making us friends.
Yeah. No credit goes to Melly.
But that is around the time I feel like maybe it was a little bit after that where you actually started producing. But of course, what everyone wants to hear about before we get there is the rock days, the screamo days. How'd you get started in music?
Yeah, dude. So, I mean, I get started with upright bass. I did the whole orchestra thing since I was like fucking 10. And then got really into screamo music. And what got me into like EDM like stuff is it's called like post-hardcore is the genre. So it's like very synth heavy screamo shit. So like, for example, big band, they were definitely really cool. They had a very synth heavy production, just I guess with their sound, and it was very wonky. So I think that like kind of in the end made me just go way more towards this kind of sound that I'm doing now with Fidget House. I don't know. It's definitely not for everyone. I realize that. Like I can definitely like see why a lot of people don't like it because it's very sound design heavy, and you just really have to be like for lack of a better term, it's a producer's fucking genre.
I mean, look at the synth behind you.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is my baby right now. This is my my MS-20. I don't really use it as much as I did. I tried to mainly use that for some like FX and shit, but now I'm just pretty much just like a silent 4. Like that's all I use.
Yeah, you are. You've been using that a lot. But so then what made you, I guess, make that shift? Was there a moment where you were like, I want to move into electronic? What kind of made that transition happen?
From rock to EDM. Yeah, so that was pretty much just me being going to school up in fucking upstate New York, and I couldn't bring like my bass or I couldn't bring any guitars or anything like that. So I was pretty much just strapped with the laptop. So I just had to figure that out. And then obviously, every producer's story of just like, I went to a Skrillex show and then I was like, okay, it's time for fucking EDM. So that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my skinny jeans do not fit anymore. Like my regular jeans don't fucking fit anymore after I started producing, man.
Skinny jeans don't fit anymore. Yeah. No, that's just because your ass just sits there and produces all day. You're not really. What happened to the old active Frankie that was going to go to the Coast Guard for crew?
Yeah, damn. Shit. Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know, I was before Colgate, I was going to go to the Coast Guard Academy, which I mean, in hindsight, that would have been very bold. of me. It was kind of when I was very into rowing and just like being healthy. Sorry, my dad's trying to FaceTime me right now. Um,
That's so
and
good.
yeah, no, and I just got disqualified because I was prescribed Adderall, and they're like, you can't be like mentally, I don't know, dependent on medication when you're in the military, which I guess makes sense if you're, yeah, if you're like in the Air Force and you're flying a fucking $3 million jet, I guess I get that. But like, yeah, no, so just went to Colgate and then realized that that would have been not for me,
I don't
you
even
know?
think I knew that part of the story. Probably didn't tell us.
Yeah, no, it was, I mean, it was kind of weird at the time because I was like going like balls to the wall with that shit. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh,
You
guess I
can't do
can't
that
do that.
anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. I think it ended up being the best thing for you, though, for
Oh my
sure.
God, for sure.
For sure. So, okay, so you make the transition. Uh, Worth noting that at this point, I come over to your house, play with your DDJ SR or SC, whatever one it was, and I officially start my little thing. Oh, this is really cool. I remember ignoring like Juan and Carly and a bunch of people were like over, and I ignored them to DJ. So
Yeah,
I
I remember that. I think it was just some random like
It was a random
maybe a
night.
New Year's party or just some random party we were having at my place. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and then I just like you were in the music room I used to have, and then just started spinning, and then fucking Aaron was addicted immediately.
That was it. It was literally over, actually. But so on your end, so you go there, you start Trst. Basically, you started DJing your fraternity parties in college, and it turned out to be bigger than you initially expected. Very, very similar stories, you and I.
Yeah, exactly. Like I honestly started DJing because it got me out of hazing.
Yeah.
So like yeah, like they like you can like do this like during parties and just like fetch us beers all night, or you could DJ. And I was like, well, I think I'm just gonna learn how to fucking do that.
Oh,
You
you
know?
had no idea?
No, I definitely started producing right before I started DJing,
That's hilarious.
or like way before I started DJing.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
DJing was it was also like I had to learn it, and I knew that because I was like, okay, I'm making
Yeah.
electronic music. I can't like at the time it was kind of unrealistic for me to have like a live performance kind of thing with
Yeah.
that. So yeah.
You heard it here first. Trst started becoming a DJ because he wanted to avoid hazing. So all of you, pledges out there, you have hope too.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I'm pretty sure there's some significance behind the name Trst with your fraternity.
Kind of. So it was just like in my fraternity, there's just like people like the rooms were just named different things, and then one of the ones that I lived in for like 2 years was called the Brain Trust, and then I was like, oh, okay, Trust. Let me just like who else is famous right now? Oh, Nightmare. Oh, he doesn't have any vowels, so let me do that too. So and then that was it, and then my friend Alec like sketched out a logo for me, and then
Yeah.
my friend Emiliano made it an actual logo, and I'm still super happy with it. I fucking love it, so I still
That's
always use
awesome.
it.
That's awesome. So literally just a random name. There's no other besides the room itself.
Yeah, no, not really.
Now, did you? I mean, you've been pretty much making house forever. You had that little future-based stint, but it feels like pretty quickly after Throw Your Body was one thing, but like pretty quickly you turned to Fidget House. Like, was that always your plan? What was your thought on that?
So I mean, yeah, no, I did the whole like dubstep to like fucking future bass, then to I'd say like G House. G House is kind of where I was starting to realize who I was as a musician. And it was kind of at that point when I was doing like Bitch Boys and Throw Your Body and like that sound. It was like kind of me producing for like the room,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. So it's like I don't love this kind of music. It's fun to make, but it's not like the most fun I can have making music.
Yeah.
And that it did, like obviously hurt my productivity because I was like, okay, this is work. But like now once I kind of just was experimenting with sounds, just kind of, I don't know, it was pretty much after learning everything that you can with mixing, and then after that just going balls to the wall with sound design, which pretty much brought me to Fidget House, because Fidget House is pretty much just like it's just an amalgam of sounds that aren't supposed to make sense together. So it's like hip hoppy vocals with rave synth stabby stuff with some like G house like bass lines, stuff like that. So
It's
it's
super
just like
fun though.
it's so fun. It's really fun to make because for me it's sound design heavy, and that's really what I enjoy. And just the whole process of just sitting down for hours and just making sense is like that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't find that fun at all myself, but you know, teach their own.
Yeah. No,
I
yeah,
mean,
it's definitely to each their own.
yeah, I mean, look at all those. I mean, that Moog behind you is just insane. I don't understand how you just twist knobs and make sounds out of that.
Seeger said that I deleted a future bass track that every bitch in Australia required me to have at parties. Yeah, no, I had like that rich thought. I'm pretty sure is what you're
Oh my
talking about.
God, that was the
And
one that
then
your mom found in the ad or the YouTube video.
yeah, exactly. And then yeah, and then after that was the Thief remix. Um, and then I mean I still make pop stuff, but not under obviously not under Trust, but I don't know. It's fun, but it's definitely not even close to like the amount of fun I have when I'm just like, like sipping a J and just fucking going making crazy shit on this bad boy.
You say sipping a J?
Yeah, you sip a J, you don't chug it.
I thought you meant like smoke a J.
No, yeah, it is.
You're just being dumb. My mom's probably watching this and thinking, "Oh my God, here we go again, Frankie."
Here we go.
Yo,
House
Melly,
is house.
you got
Peacemaker is
Peacemaker
right.
here.
Oh yeah, no,
Peace.
Peacemaker knows the thing. So I was talking to Peacemaker the other day. Oh, it was like 420, and he was saying like, I'm pretty much the same, like same boat as him. Like he's like, I need to pretty much smoke to make my kind of music because that's where like all the ideas for me and creativity come to. At least when it comes to sound design, like I can arrange it fine, but like he was saying that like he fucking he face was fruit. Yeah, no, he was saying that like once he doesn't smoke, he makes like Dimitri Vegas style stuff. Or that's what his manager was saying. It was so funny, but it
That's
makes
awesome.
sense. Yeah,
That's awesome. I won't comment on that when my mom's on the stream. Um,
yeah. Aaron doesn't do that.
Speaking of Peacemaker, dude, I feel like Peacemaker is one of these people that I've just seen through every one of my friends' friends. I see him everywhere, but I don't think I've ever actually talked to him like on the phone or anything. So Peacemaker, let's change that sometime.
You should. He's a super super nice guy, super humble, just down to work and just chat with anyone, and yeah, really good musician too. His bass lines are super thick, and he's definitely just been churning shit out, man.
Yeah.
Jealous.
Yeah. So you, with your kind of whole thing, I mean, you wear a lot of different hats. I feel like every person I've talked to has worn a lot of different hats, but you really take that to like a different level. So you're a producer, DJ, and that alone has its complicatedness to it, complexity. You're a promoter. You also, I feel like, have been kind of dipping your toes into label work. I guess you've been working with the Gold Digger people somewhat, but I guess not really officially.
Yeah, no, not really officially. Like I've just been like kind of working with Socks is like their A&R. And he is currently like the 17-year-old French dude who's just like super like all these French and Italian people are just so fucking like talented and Portugal, shout out Peacemaker. But they're just so talented and everyone's just like all this rising talent's coming out of there. Melly says which is better, NYC or SF? SF, dude. I hate NYC.
Why, dude?
It's a concrete jungle. I don't love cities, and like to be fair, my like if I had my apartment in New York, no, I also don't like the cold, so no, it's SF.
Well, you
For
came
sure.
to New York before, and it was a lot
Yeah,
of
no,
fun.
yeah, no. I love coming and visiting for like 2 or 3 days, maybe a weekend, maybe a week.
Yeah,
A week if I have my own place like to stay, but like if I'm staying with someone, like 2 days max.
yeah.
Um, but no, I love New York. I love visiting there. I would not live there.
Just like I mean, trust me, a lot of people that I know that live in New York have been really feeling like, wow, was it all that great? Now that we've been in quarantine for 2 months and haven't had to deal with that crap.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, you're just going like fucking New York to Florida. Like obviously Florida's better. Like come on.
Yeah. But so going back to the question, I think this is actually a fun segue because I have the after footage here from our show in January. This was interesting because it was one of your first works in promoting an event and helping me throw the event. Obviously, you were the headliner, so you had that aspect of it. So let's go ahead and for the YouTube people, I'm going to stream this after footage. It should be about a minute or so, and then we'll be right back.
Is anyone there? Wait.
Yeah, more stuff, please.
Hands up if you
Super dope time, super fun time. But yeah, so you headlined that show, you helped throw it. You've been getting involved in shows, so tell me a little bit about your work with promoting and then specifically what you've been doing with G Code.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I when I went to school up in New York, we started just like throwing little shows. I don't know, just little artists like Botneck at the time wasn't that big. We had a Blau show at that time was just fucking huge. Just had all these different cool little experiences, and it was nice, but it didn't really give me like the actual experience I needed. Like it gave me the experience of the process of booking an artist.
Yep.
But it didn't like actually give me the like experience of promoting a show just because I was in like the middle of nowhere. So if I had a show, obviously everyone's gonna go. So then we kind of moved out of college, went to the real world, and yeah, that was pretty much the first show I did outside of college was the self headliner, and it was just like it feels pretty silly just because it's like patting myself on the back with the whole self headliner thing, but like
Hey,
it kind of made sense just because just because like I don't know, it just like my whole audience was in New York and it was just like fresh out of college, so it made sense.
Absolutely. No, it definitely makes sense.
Yeah. And then from there, it was just like a lot of fun, just fucking promoting and throwing shows. So we started doing it in SF. That was kind of a struggle to get to where we are now, just because you had to fail a lot to actually get to even the attention of people that own these big venues that will allow you to step in their door, because you have to have like a previous record of throwing dang shows. They don't want to just like waste a Friday or Saturday night on you.
No.
Because they could make money elsewhere.
Yep.
So yeah, we are the first big venue we worked out here with was Audio. Shout out Audio. Peter Dukakis is their current talent buyer, so I worked with him to get Matroda out there, and so we had Matroda, New Kid, and me playing that show, and it sold out, and it was a great night. And then coronavirus happened. Before that, we also worked with Gina and Ria from Halcyon, and through Limbo and a couple other events, had a boat party, all these really cool, fun things. But it was definitely a process to get there.
Yeah.
Were you involved in music in high school? Yeah, I was involved in music in high school. I was in the orchestra, and that's pretty much it, actually. I was in the school orchestra and then the fucking after school thing. Played upright bass. It was a lot of fun, but, you know, some things always have to die.
Yeah. Let's just walk really quickly through everything that you just said there. And I want to first start back with that headline show. One of the things that, you know, we've talked a lot about on the show so far is the different roles that there are, specifically promoting, because that's what Lunar Lounge is, a promoter. A lot of people don't really think about some of the needs that go behind that. And if you think about starting a promoter group, you're going to have a base of people that enjoy your parties. And one of the best ways to do that is if the person throwing the party is the DJ. And while, you know, you kind of swept it under the rug saying, oh, it's kind of silly, it's really not, because if you look at all the successful promoters that are in the industry, Space Yacht, Brownies and Lemonade, you know the ones I'm going to name, they all have in-house DJs. Brownies and Lemonade is Chad Kenny, Space Yacht is Henry and those boys. So it's actually really smart, and it's what a lot of promoters do. What I think is super impressive is that your base is in New York. Same to mine. That's why I've been able to put Lunar Lounge, make it successful. Yet somehow you're throwing big shows in San Francisco. You know, the Matroda show, the Limbo show, which we would have had. We would have had our New York Limbo show.
Oh, man, Limbo was a really good time.
We still will. We will reschedule. But so how did you actually, and if you said this, I'm sorry, I might have missed it. How did you actually meet Abby and the G Code people?
So that was just, you know, like just brute force networking. Like I just like saw an Instagram ad that said like, are you like tired of tech house shows? I'm like, yes, because that's all that there is or was in San Francisco. You know, the Dirty Bird scene's very heavy here just because that's where it's from.
Yeah.
That's where it originated. And don't get me wrong, I love tech house, but it was just so saturated with tech house. And I saw that and just immediately was like, yeah, like, and their thing was geared towards G House, and that's when I was making it. So I sent them my demos. They said, come to a show. That's pretty much it. After that, we just always had fun. They always invited me out to shows. Yeah, and after that, we pretty much just, like said, I have experience throwing shows and talent buying, and also just the whole booking process. And yeah, and then from there it was pretty much just through a ton of just local shows as well. A lot of local shows. That's I think how Avi's so good at networking.
Yeah,
and
we
just
got
knowing
Truth and Lies
everyone.
in here.
Yo, Truth and Lies, what's up, boys? Just networking is just Avi shit, and he just knows everyone in the Bay Area now. But just a lot of hard work that we put into the local shows, and then all of the venues just started noticing us, and then just allowed us to throw shows. And then we got our first show at Halcyon was the Maddo show, because previously we had a boat party that we asked if we could just like get a percent if we like sent the people from our boat party to this like Matt Sassari show. And they said, sure, why not? Like, you can definitely, like, we'll just give them like 10% off. And so they did it, and we sold it out, and pretty much like brought in like maybe I think like 350 people to that. So then they just were like, yeah, let's throw Limbo here. Sold that out, and then that's caught Audio's eye. And we were already in the talks with Peter and for everything for the Matroda show. Then we threw the Matroda show, and then that was just like game over. Like that was pretty much what brought us to the like a very good place and everything. Oh, speaking of Matroda, fucking that's Cashews in the Mix, heavily supported by Matroda. I'm just waiting for them to collab. But yeah, it was pretty much just like building it up and then finally just being able to rip it. But a lot of money was lost in the making.
Dude, that's what it's all about. And that's why it's so important to have those solid foundations at these smaller venues where you can hit home runs, because you pull all your friends together, you pull all your audience together. You're building a resume as you go, and it's so important to do that to the next promoter, because essentially whenever a venue works with a new promoter, they're taking a risk no matter what. Like, they're taking a risk. It's a new promoter. They haven't worked with them in the past, so anything you can do to show your history, that show the venue that you're going to mitigate that risk, is really important.
No, definitely.
Yep. So let's end the last couple of minutes here and talk a little bit about like what's next. I'm going to break that question down into two. We talked about your quarantine stuff, but I like to hone in on this question specifically because I feel like quarantine is such a time for people to be creative. Yeah. Moving forward until, I think you told me your office isn't going back to September, just like mine. You're going to be here for a while. What are you trying to accomplish from a music production out of this quarantine? More songs, different sound designs?
So my office now is permanently work from home. So
forever?
we just don't have an office anymore, which is fucking dope.
What?
Um,
Your life
so
is
yeah,
so good. now.
but in terms of sound, just gonna keep like pushing the fidget sound. I fucking love it. So in my opinion, it's kind of just like, I don't know. I think it's more rewarding to like release a song that gets like 10K views, knowing like I really like it too, versus like having that one spin and release that was like, okay, like I guess it's a fun G house song that like, I don't know. It's just a lot more rewarding.
Yep.
But I do have a lot of releases coming up. Can announce them. So it's like Tuesday is Noir Sur Blanc.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's with Juice the DJ, dude out of Chicago.
Which one is that? Which track is that?
That's Condo.
Okay.
And then on June 1st, I'm gonna be releasing with 40 Ounce Cult. It's this track called Flaws.
Yes.
And I've just been like sending around. Me and Cashew got a collab that's kind of in the works of getting signed. We'll see what happens, but it's been getting a lot of good attention, so we're trying to play it out a little bit more, try and push it. So my main like goal right now has been just to like work with anyone that is kind of interested in the fidget sound. So like anyone that hits me up, I like rarely ever turn down a collab just because I don't know, I just love working with different.
Yeah, you want to
sounds.
collab after this?
I'm down, man.
I'm gonna splice you when I work on today.
Is it that Truth and Lies song again?
No, stop. It's a different one. They don't know that yet.
Yeah. But just pretty much just pushing this fidget sound, just getting to know as many like-minded people as possible. Yeah, dude, I can't wait to we gotta start pushing that one. Aaron, I'll let you hear this Trst Cashew collab after this, but it fucking smacks. That dude is just on his way. And yeah, that's just pushing fidget. That's my prerogative.
Nice. And last question is, quarantine's over. It's all done. G code is ready to go. You've got $30,000 at your disposal. You can use it on talent. You can use it on a big venue. Putting you on the spot. You've got 60 seconds to plan the dopest event with $30,000 to go.
All right, the dopest event with $30,000. So with a lot of that money, I would definitely get. I don't know. That's so hard. Okay, yeah, no, I know which one I'd do. So I would definitely get a Bellacore show. So, but this, you know which one I'm talking about. So we, I would have just a pretty much like a French fucking show. So like I would get Abstract in there. I would get motherfucking Bellacore in there. Maybe sprinkle some like I don't know who else. Fucking Cashew can come too. I love his music, and I just like, dude, I can't imagine his music on Function Ones. It'd just be like oral sex.
Oh my
like
God.
all of these people. So just like it's getting me hot thinking about that.
So basically, your dream wish when quarantine is over is something that we may or may not have been trying to plan before quarantine started.
Dude, yeah, no, that show is just like my dream show, and it can happen. But not right now, not fucking right now. But yeah, no, I just don't know how people are doing these online festivals and making money. Like,
I don't think you are.
Yeah, I don't think you are at all.
I don't think you are. Actually, yeah, I mean, that's not the point, though. That's not the point. You're not doing it online.
No. So it's more like it's not even close to breaking even. You're losing a fuck ton.
Yeah. Well, Frank, this has been fun. I've enjoyed this conversation. This is Lunar Lounge Green Room with an interview with Trst, aka Frankie Flores. We do this every Sunday at 5 Eastern, and next weekend we have a fun little guy from Down Under by the name of Odd Mob. He'll be joining us.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so
I love Odd Mob.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. He has this cool song. All right, man. I'm actually literally gonna splice you like right now.
Okay, yeah. I'll take a look, bro.
Okay. All right. Stay safe out there.
All right.
All right. Bye.